Hi, I'm Rob Cosman. We're here at Heartland Forest in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. We're just wrapping up our 7th workshop, all part of our Purple Heart project, where we bring civilians in with combat wounded veterans. The civilians come, they pay their tuition. That helps us pay the bills so that we can host these veterans, to which we cover all of their expenses, including sending them each home with a couple of $1,000s worth of tools so they can continue this. And Dave is one of our generous civilians who have come to take the program. So Dave, tell me first, where are you from?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri.
And how did you find us?
I found Rob as a brand new woodworker looking for instruction on the internet, so I stumbled onto his YouTube videos like so many others.
Yeah? That was it?
That was it, man.
So how did Steve end up here?
Well,
Steve's his friend, by the way. Still friends?
Dear
After a
friends,
week?
absolutely. You know, I say I stumbled onto the YouTube videos. I was a consumer of YouTube videos, and I found that Rob's were the best, or at least I thought so. And
High five.
yeah, you got it, man. And then I got curious about a little bit curious about Rob's store, and also curious about Rob's biography. That led me to make a purchase. The dovetail kit, as he calls it, is incredible. So I got that, and in connection with that purchase, I made a call, and I was surprised and delighted that when I made the call, well, it was Rob Cosman answering the phone. And what I didn't know then is not only how passionate he is, but what a terrific salesperson he is. So before you know it, I'm agreeing to, pack up and go to Canada in April. And more than that, I had committed to getting another guy to go with me. I'm a trial lawyer. I'm not easily persuaded by other people wanting things from me, but I'll be darned. In no time at all, I'd made those commitments. And so, of course, my buddy, who is also a lawyer, he did want to come to Canada and learn about all the things that Rob can teach. And so that's how Steve and I got here together now.
Okay, so it's over. And by the way, we advertised 8 to 8, but we went a little longer than that.
Yeah, we went a little longer than that, and I suppose I'm triply impressed. I'm first impressed that Rob has the stamina to teach 2 weeks in a row, a good 12 hours a day. I must say I'm also impressed and humbled by the vets who face a lot of physical disability and some emotional difficulties too, and yet thrive in this environment, flourish, and outwork me, that's for sure. So I'm at the back. Sometimes I have to take breaks, but I definitely wouldn't want it any other way. The opportunity to work as long as we work is one of the great parts of the program.
Excellent. So how are you going to convince other people to come? We want to continue this. We do this twice a year, in the spring and in the fall. We do 2 workshops back to back, so that enables us to host 24 combat wounded veterans each year. But as I said, each time we do that, we have to have 6 to 8 civilians who are willing to come, pay the money, eat the food, work the long hours, buy the tools, and be part of the program. I'm pretty sure they all think that they got their money's worth come Friday. But what magical thing could you say to people that are kind of maybe sitting on the fence? I don't know if I want to go to Canada, it snows a lot. It did.
I would say to those worrying about the snow, it's going to snow, We did for us. Don't bank on good weather. As to those thinking about the money, I'm very confident everybody in that room would say they got all their money and more back from this experience. That's easy. But look, I'm this kind of convert after just a week, and so I'm prepared to proselytize starting now. If I were to be given a microphone and a platform, this is what I'd say. I'd appeal to those who want to learn woodworking, as I do, and I'd say I'd challenge you to find anybody whose knowledge of woodworking has Rob's both breadth and depth. You can ask Rob about any subject you've ever heard of, and he'll know it. He'll know it well. He'll know it deeply, and that's so impressive. there are no holes in this guy's knowledge base. And I also want to say, because it's distinct, that Rob can teach. I mean, the guy can really teach. This isn't somebody showing you once and telling you, okay, now you go ahead and do it. Rob's terrific at analyzing, oh, maybe it's the way you saw, and showing you how to do better. Another aspect of his teaching is the way that Rob explains the reason for everything we do. You know, and I can't think of many great, particularly important innovations in woodworking over the last 40 or 50 years. I'm a rookie, I don't know much about it, but here I see Rob, and you know, Rob's an inventor. He has changed tools in really meaningful ways. He's invented new tools. I don't know how many people are teaching or not that can say something like that. But the more important reason for coming here is it's the opportunity for personal growth. My family, we're very privileged. Hopefully we don't take that for granted, but I can tell you, I recognize we live in a bubble. And I don't have the daily experience of being around, any veterans, let alone combat veterans, let alone profoundly injured combat veterans. Turns out that's a privilege itself. And if your experience is anything short of spending, well, I guess I'd say 10 or 12 hours a day for 5 days in a row with wounded war veterans, then give this some thought. On the balance sheet of war, wounded veterans, that's a non-trivial entry. And it's apparent to me after just a short time that it's a liability, that it's a debt we're not paying, and we should as a country. In discussions with the veterans, what I notice is they have some opportunities given to them, but largely they're opportunities like Rob's. They're individuals, some organizations, but they're all private. The experience of interactions that our veterans have with our own government, it's largely through the Veterans Administration, and it's not always that good. Often it's extraordinarily frustrating for them. And that's not fair. You know, when we ask them to fight, we don't ask them to fight as, C+, B- warriors. We expect A+ from each and every one of them. And to think that when they return, and gosh, when they return wounded, they don't get an A+ back from us, that's just not fair. So I've been really personally moved, and I've made commitments to Rob about helping this organization starting next week and for the weeks that follow. I'm here to tell you I'm going to live up to those, and I know that because Rob's going to show me this video if I don't.
Yeah, so a lot of people are going to see it.
But this is an extraordinary gentleman whose gifts are manifest. And
Wait a minute. I surround myself with a great team.
Sure do.
So take just a second to acknowledge, and I know you're not doing that intentionally, but you think about Jake and what he's able to do, and Luther. And this program works because of Colonel Luther, and Dave, who himself was a combat wounded veteran, that happened to call up and say, hey, I don't have anything to do. Do you need any help? And he's been such a great help. He came for 1 week. We kept him for 2, and now we booked him for the next 6 that we're doing over the course of the next 2 years.
And you're the better for it, and so is the organization, because Dave's tremendous. You have a gift for surrounding yourself with the right kind of people. And as the organization grows, I'm excited to see who else joins. You know, the guy behind the camera right now, Jake, one of Rob's sons, he handles the camera, of course, and he handles a lot of details and logistics, but he is also an incredible woodworker who has shown more patience with me personally. I'm in debt to this guy. And what can I say about Luther? He's such an attractive personality. He's so fun to be around. He's a great organizer. He's a great manager. He's a hell of a woodworker. And I just find myself attracted to him because he is so entertaining. He's really funny, and he keeps the program rolling along. I really appreciate that about him. So when you come, you're not just going to be given the treat of listening to this extraordinary guy Rob, but he surrounded himself with a team, and you get the benefit of the whole team, not just Rob. It's great.
Dave, you said that well.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Well,
I
thank you.
appreciate your support. I appreciate your offer to help, and we're going to make this better because of people like you.
Right on. Thanks.
Big thank you.